Arthur Caesar was born in 1796. He is the second son to Theodosia and Julius Caesar. Ever since he was a boy, Arthur has been fascinated with science. When he was 15, his mother had invented the first ever robot. It was called Caesar CTN. It was originally designed to cook, clean, and care for children. Arthur was fascinated by the robot, but that soon grew into infatuation. In 1813, Arthur went away to attend Bristol University. There he studied science and made friends. He met a man by the name of Benjamin Miller. The two of them were good friends. As they spent more time together, they grew even closer. Although things between them were exciting, Arthur's heart still belonged to Caesar. He knew the robot was waiting for his return. Despite his relationship with Benjamin, Arthur still focused on education. He studied at the library a lot. He wanted to be an even greater inventor than his mother. He had eventually returned home in 1818, the same year his mother passed. There is where he found Caesar down in his mother's lab. It had been in that room for years, but he managed to fix it. Things went back to the way they were between them. He experimented in his mother's old lab the same way she used to. A few months later, Benjamin came over to visit. Arthur invited him in, where Benjamin unexpectedly made a move on him. Caesar was very upset by it. This prompted Arthur to break things off with Benjamin. But that wasn't enough for Caesar. Benjamin had returned later that week and confessed his love for Arthur. Caesar had caught the two together and followed Benjamin out. Caesar had threatened him, and that was the last time Benjamin came over. Arthur continued his experimenting at home. From then on, whenever a friend came over to visit, they would mysteriously disappear. Arthur ended up spending most of his time inventing. He wanted to create an even better version of Caesar CTN. It took months to manufacture. With all that time he spent building, he neglected what he already had. Eventually, Caesar was forgotten. A new robot was born. Arthur called it Caesar 2000. It was everything Arthur wanted and more, designed purposely for his pleasure. Arthur also had other inventions that he was proud of. He had become interested in the idea of a new life outside of their world. He spent years looking for proof and even built a machine to communicate through. One night he was lured outside by a strange light. He was returned hours later, having discovered aliens. He was so excited he told everyone aliens were real, but he wasn't believed. People believed he was more crazy than anything. Arthur was frustrated with people's closed minds. He started to feel very ill. He also noticed that he was bloating very badly. One morning in 1837, he experienced a pain in his stomach that came with a surprise. Somehow, Arthur had given birth to a child. The child had green skin, much like the aliens he had encountered. Arthur was in such a state of shock about the child, he never gave him a name. Arthur reprogrammed Caesar to help take care of the child. He was excited to finally have proof of alien life and showed everyone. Unfortunately, they didn't react the way Arthur expected. A panic word spread around town about aliens coming to invade. Arthur started to realize the mistake he had made very quickly. So they went home and went to bed. That night, some angry townies showed up to his doorstep. They demanded that Arthur hand them the child. He refused, knowing they wanted to harm the baby. He kicked them off of his property, but he knew they would return with more people. The next day he packed everything and left. They got on a boat and fled the country. They moved into a small home and kept a low profile. There the child was finally given a name, Edgar. Arthur kept Edgar hidden from the world in fear that he wouldn't be accepted. He taught Edgar about science and technology. He was growing to be a brilliant young man. But the older he grew, the more he wanted to see the world for himself. In 1848, Arthur had passed away of an unknown illness. He was buried in the yard. Edgar and Seether were all that was left of him. Thanks for watching. If you want more, like and subscribe. For those interested, there's now a way to view the full family tree anytime on the Plumtree app website. The link is down in the description.